Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. As many of you know, this year, 2025, we are celebrating the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II. So far, one of the most brutal wars in the human history. And I want to take you to the articles and some videos about what is taking place in Poland today. Probably many of you know that there is a big event taking place in Auschwitz-Birkenau, in which many people lost their lives in the most satanic, demonic way. I will be showing you some documentaries, a little bit of the documentaries, because they are hard to watch. However, we have to look at those images sometimes to remind us what evil is capable of. And it's kind of ironic that actually Zelensky is making a trip here for that celebration. So let me start with the article, guys, and let me show you the names, share with you the names of the people who are coming here for the 80th anniversary of liberation of the Auschwitz-Birkenau. This is not the portal I tend to go to, however, those facts I don't think can be twisted as far as who is coming. So today marks the 80th anniversary of the liberation of the German Auschwitz camp. The first anniversary celebrations in Oświęcim have begun. Oświęcim is a place in the south of Poland, not far away from Kraków, or as you call it, Kraków. One of the most beautiful Polish cities, used to be capital of Poland before Warsaw. In the evening, so today, King Charles III and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, among others, are expected to take part. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky also arrived in Poland. Isn't it interesting, guys? The main guests will be the survivors, of whom about 50 will come. So we have confirmation by 60 state delegations and international organizations. The ceremony will begin on Monday, that is today at 4 p.m. in front of the historic gate of Auschwitz-Birkenau, which many people, once they pass that gate, already knew it's a death sentence. Those who survived or escaped, it was a true miracle in itself. So here are the participation and the ceremony, and this is important to go to because then we have to go to who liberated Auschwitz-Birkenau, right? Participation in the ceremony has been confirmed by, among others, state delegations from Albania, Argentina, Australia, Austria, Azerbaijan, Belgium, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Bulgaria, or Bulgaria, you say in English, right? Croatia, Cyprus, Montenegro, Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Greece, Spain, Ireland, Iceland, Israel, Canada, Kazakhstan, Kosovo, Liechtenstein, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Latvia, North Macedonia, Malta, Mexico, Moldova, Monaco, Netherlands, Norway, New Zealand, Panama, Portugal, Romania, Rwanda, Serbia, Slovakia, Slovenia, the United States, Switzerland, Sweden, Vatican City, Hungary, and Italy. So this is the list. Now I want to take you to a quick documentary, just few images to show you. I never went to Oświęcim, to Auschwitz-Birkenau, even though I had the opportunity to go there. I am not a person who can absorb those images and the energy of those places. I am too sensitive for this. Just looking at the documentaries, the images, it's enough for me. It's hard for me. That's why I could not go there. But I know that sometimes, unfortunately, with all the cruelty as it took place, we have to look at those images to remind us, because the idea, they have the same form of, or even worse, form of sacrificing people. So let me show you this. Those of you who are not able to watch, you might want to skip to the later part of this video. I will attach the link down below just to give you an idea. And I will not mute myself, I will mute the video. Let's see if this is better view for you. I think this should be better now. No, it's too high dimensional. Okay, 1 second, guys, let me go back. Let's try again because the commercials are here. So this is the real footage from Auschwitz-Birkenau. However, it's in color now. You can still find a lot of movies that show the cruelty that took place there, the conditions that people lived in there. There was actually a great book written by Viktor Frankl, I believe was his name, A Man's Search for a Meaning. If you haven't read that book, I highly recommend you to, because it's written by a survivor from one of those camps. I don't remember if he was actually a survivor from Auschwitz or other camps. There were many camps like that. Horrific crimes against humanity. If you want to see the entire documentary, this is from Military History. I will attach the link down below this video because it's really hard to watch. This actually shows you this part is not so cruel. It's cruel enough, but I mean, anyway, even hard to share this for me. So now let's just go to the article I came across about from one of the survivors, I believe, from Polish portal. So what's going on? Well, apparently one victim of Holocaust has some words to say to, you know who this is, to our new/old Prime Minister Donald Tusk. Just looking at the face, I think it's enough, isn't it? Okay. A slap in the face of the victims, Holocaust survivor appeals to Tusk. I took Tusk's declaration about inviting the Israeli Prime Minister to the ceremony commemorating the liberation of the Auschwitz-Birkenau camp as a slap in the face, says a Holocaust survivor. Ensuring the safe participation of Israel's leaders in the celebrations on January 27, 2025 is treated by the Polish government as part of paying tribute to the Jewish people, whose millions of daughters and sons became victims of the Holocaust carried out by the Third Reich, said the document adopted by the Council of Ministers. On Monday, the former German Nazi death camp Auschwitz-Birkenau will host ceremonies commemorating the 80th anniversary of the camp's liberation. Holocaust survivor Stefan Kapos compares the extermination of Jews by Germany with what is happening in Gaza Strip today. Quoting now this person, the survivor, "I myself survived the Holocaust in hiding. I was in a group of Jewish children who were hiding their true origins. As refugees, we wandered from place to place, forced to flee every time someone began to suspect something or when the front approached. When I returned to Budapest, I found only the ruins of my house. Suddenly, we became homeless. When I look at the photos from Gaza today, of orphans sobbing in the ruins over the bodies of their killed parents, memories of that Budapest and my own heartbreaking experiences came back." So you can read this, and he is very disturbed because Tusk has invited the Prime Minister, right? Is it? Yeah, Prime Minister of Israel. Are we surprised? So who liberated Auschwitz-Birkenau? I don't trust Wikipedia in every detail. However, I think some of those informations might be true. But let's go first to this website that says I question everything, guys, nowadays. But let's read this. January 27th, 1945. On January 27, 1945, soldiers of the 60th Army of the 1st Ukrainian Front opened the gates to KL Auschwitz, pretty much Red Army. The prisoners welcomed the Soviet soldiers as authentic liberators. The paradox of history meant that the soldiers, who were formerly representatives of Stalinist totalitarianism, brought freedom to the prisoners of Nazi totalitarianism. This is how the article writes. But the fact is that it was the Red Army who liberated those prisoners of Auschwitz-Birkenau. More than 230 Soviet soldiers died in direct fights for the liberation of the Auschwitz main camp. And in the main camp, Birkenau and Monowitz, about 7,000 prisoners lived to see the liberation. 7,000 people made it. About 500 prisoners were liberated by Soviet soldiers before 27th of January. As soon afterwards, in the sub-camps of Auschwitz, Stara Kuźnia, Blachownia Śląska, Świętochłowice, Wesoła Libiosz, Jawiszowice, and Jaworzno. Yeah, you see, this is Polish language, so some of you will never pronounce it. I know, don't worry about it. But so many camps were in surrounding areas, and it's not just there, in other places as well. So now let's go to Wikipedia, as I said before. I wanted to see what Wikipedia writes about the 60th Army, the Soviet Union Army. And it says, and I want to say before I read this, guys, I really appreciate your feedback because I am not an expert in this. I know some history, but as I see now, I really have to relearn the history because they are lying to us on so many fronts that I don't know what to trust anymore. Of course, I trust that Red Army has liberated Auschwitz, but many things are very confusing on so many historical facts. So I don't know if this was a good part of the army. Why does it say that it was some Ukrainian front? I don't know. But let me read you this. The Red Army's 60th Army was a Soviet field army during the Second World War II. It was formed in reserve in the Moscow military district in October 1941. But soon was disbanded. It was formed a second time in July 1942 and continued in service until post-war. The 60th Army, so the one that liberated Auschwitz, was commanded by General Ivan Danilovich Cherniakowski for much of the war, and it was while this command that he proved himself worthy to be promoted to the rank of General of the Army and command of a front at the age of 38 years old. So this apparently was the army that, like I said a few times already, has liberated Auschwitz-Birkenau. Horrific history, should never be forgotten. And I think there are many other things that we don't know about what really took place. And as time goes by, we will probably, rather for sure, get to know those facts, because I believe in our lifetime, everything will be revealed. It's interesting that those who are invited don't quite represent love for the humanity, isn't it? Ironic. So now, as you know, Alexander Lukashenko has won the election. Some people say that it was obvious because, you know, like he's a dictator, so he's just gonna continue. That's how people perceive that. But on one side of the coin, on the other side, of course, it's always democratic. You know how it goes. But Sikorski had some comments about it, about Lukashenko winning the election. And let's see if I have this in English. Yes, I do. Sikorski mocks Lukashenko's victory. This is how he called the leader of Belarus. Thank you, USA. After Nord Stream pipeline, poof. And Lukashenko, the very same one who calls Polish President Dudu. Radosław Sikorski briefly commented on the results of the presidential elections in Belarus. The minister drew attention to the results, which was supposed to guarantee victory for Alexander Lukashenko. Earlier, the Polish Minister of Foreign Affairs also expressed disappointment with the elections held in violation of basic democratic procedures. I guess if you don't fake it, then it's not democratic. I don't know. What do I know, right? The Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Poland expresses its disappointment with the presidential elections in Belarus conducted in violation of basic democratic procedures, the ministry said in a statement on Sunday, that's yesterday. The head of the ministry, Radosław Sikorski, referred to the results themselves. Quoting Sikorski now, only 87.6% of Belarusians love their batka. Will the rest fit in prisons? End of quote. This is what the minister wrote. Belarusian media reported in the evening that this result was indicated by the exit poll. In turn, batka in Belarusian means father or founder. Lukashenko liked to refer to himself in this way, using this term, for example, during his appearances in the media. So the situation in Belarus was referred to in more detail to the Minister of Foreign Affairs statement. More quote from the Polish Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Due to the actions of the authorities, independent candidates could not take part in the elections. The campaign was accompanied by repression against political opponents and intimidation of representatives of Belarusian civil society, the minister wrote. Anyway, Sikorski doesn't believe this is credible, so I don't know what to say, because I think there are always many sides to stories. I am not an expert in the Belarusian election process. Is there oppression? Is there not? But I don't know if there is a better leader who could protect Belarus from the shenanigans surrounding that country, especially from the neighboring countries, right? Looking towards the West, I'm saying. So what else do I have for you today, everyone? Yes, since we are on the topic of Russia and United States talks, what's going on with that? This is from today, the latest news from Moscow, from Tusk, that says Peskov, Dmitry Peskov, who is the spokesman for Kremlin, no requests yet from Washington for communication between Russian US presidents. I don't know, I just kind of feel it's a little different. Russia remains ready for communication with the United States at the level of President Vladimir Putin and President Donald Trump, but Moscow has not received any requests on the matter from Washington. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said at the briefing, "We haven't received any signals from the Americans yet," he pointed out. "This is why we continue working according to schedule, maintaining readiness for dialogue," he noted. The US also maintains similar readiness. Apparently, this requires time, Peskov added. I don't know, maybe you think I am delusional. I have a feeling they actually talked several times on the phone, Putin and Trump. But it's just me, and I have a right to have my own opinion still, especially if it's my channel. So with this being said, I want to go to the comment of the day, and I really want to thank everyone who decided to become my supporter on Patreon, because this keeps me going. Maybe one day I show you how much money I make on YouTube, and it will be a big surprise for you in comparison to many other people that create content. Maybe one day I will. So then probably it will put everything into perspective. But I really appreciate someone who left this comment, because $5 a month, so one coffee per month, means a lot. So this is the comment, and I want to acknowledge you. KMG, Love your channel, Sapt and Patreon contributor. I am increasing my Patreon donation. You are well worth it. Informative and good delivery. Thank you. I try not to focus that much on those comments because sometimes I feel a little bit uncomfortable talking about those things, but I also want to acknowledge this contribution. It means a lot to me. I really appreciate everyone who decides to even spend a single dollar supporting my work because it really keeps me going. I don't have any sponsorships. A main reason for it is because I am actually not located in the United States, which has the best sponsorship programs you can ask for. That's the fact. And actually even YouTube there pays more than in other countries. Those of you who don't have the YouTube channels, you probably don't know many of those little things that are quite important at the end of the day. But this is all I have for you today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope this content brings you some value. I will attach all the links down below. The documentary that is hard to watch, but you know, it reminds you what took place and actually to some extent is still taking place, maybe a little bit different forms, but still sacrificing humans on this planet, the same evil forces. And some of those representatives will be tonight at the location. What are they really celebrating? You would like to ask yourself. Hit this like, subscribe, share, and comment. And remember, lots of love. We are the leading edge, and we are saving humanity. Bye, everyone. See you in another video.